Hello, everyone. I'm Monica Arora. I'm a passionate nature and bird photographer. Besides that, I'm also a veteran poet, and already I have a book to my name called Milestones in My Life. But today, I have with me here Mrs. Sandhya Bhandare, who is also my friend, who is an author. She's from Goa, India, and she has already written 3 books. The 4th book is about to be released in London, UK, and that will be just a few days from now on the 9th of October 2025. Since I was the first reader of her manuscript, I have the privilege of getting her to meet all of you, to ask her a few questions. Let me give you also a little brief intro of Sandhya Bhandare. She has been a professor of English literature in an esteemed college in Goa. She has many accolades and awards to her name, and yet she is a wonderful human being who deals with life in a very brave and a very courageous manner, which I suppose she has put into her book. Let me ask her a few questions right away. Okay. Hi, Sandhya.
Hi, Monica. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Now, can you tell our viewers the name and title of your book?
The title of my novel, Monica, is A Big Catch.
Do you think you could describe your book in just 5 words?
Certainly, I would describe it as the survival of a difficult marriage. So, it's a must read for each and every couple, I would say.
What made you decide to write this book?
It was an irresistible desire for self expression. Right from my childhood, I had encountered many problems with the mouth shut. Had I breathed my last without giving a vent to the turmoil in my mind, I would have the feeling of unfulfillment. So that was the way out.
So, I am sure you have been inspired by certain people, situations in life. Can you tell us what were those inspirations?
Sure, the Goan poet and dramatist Sri Pundalik Naik, upon whose works I conducted a detailed study for my research, writes on his personal experiences. The nature, the river, the forest, the hills in his village appealed to the poet in him to write his poetry. He has also written several plays wherein he discusses the social evils like casteism, women exploitation, landlord and tenant relationship, the problem of minors in Goa, which are all the social evils, and I appreciate him for that. Secondly, I was inspired by the Booker awardee Arundhati Roy, of, the author of The God of Small Things. The book is based on her experiences in Kerala. What touches in the book, what touches the reader in the book is the social reality. For the reality touches the heart, while the fiction doesn't.
You have read a lot of books yourself. What are your 3 favorite books? I would like to know that.
I must have been doing all sorts of reading right from childhood. But then the novel that really touched my heart was Mrityunjay by Shivaji Sawant. It's in Marathi and it's a bulky novel which I read in the school days. I'm very proud of that. Then I went on to read The Glass Palace by Amitav Ghosh. And the third novel which impressed me was A Fine Balance by Rohinton Mistry.
Now, what made you choose the title of this book?
When Gregory and Moga decided to tie the knot, she was introduced to the bank manager by Gregory. The manager had a good look at her, right from forehead up to the toe, and studied her as if he would study a prospective bank customer. He learnt about her multiple degrees, her job, her caste, her religion, and whispered in Gregory's ears, "A big catch."
Now, your book's cover gives a certain meaning. I would like to know what is that meaning. It is a very meaningful cover.
Thanks for the compliment. Gregory was a very handsome guy. Perhaps there were many young women who eyed him. Just as there are shoals of fish in the sea, and the skilled fisherman likes the best for himself, Gregory chose Moga, although they didn't match in many ways. For he wanted the best wife, a big catch.
Now, your book features some illustrations. In fact, there are lots of illustrations. And tell us, what was the creative process like?
The creative process, Monica, through illustrations, has the power to convince the reader of the stand taken by the heroine or the stand not taken. At one point, Moga states that as per the Newton's law of gravitation, the reaction to an action is equal and opposite. The more the pressure on the ball, better it bounces back from the wall. Likewise, the more trials and tribulations of Moga, the more did she bounce back to assert herself and to prove herself. The second illustration is the headman of a village offers his only daughter in marriage to the man who smears vermilion on his forehead, sports the holy thread upon his chest, and sits there in the village square reciting Sanskrit shlokas. The man is very much impressed by his knowledge and the power of recitation. So, the young man is fortunate enough to get a prosperous household, political power, and a beautiful wife, all for free. Post marriage, the young woman offers him a nutcracker to crack the nut which he intends to consume. And he exclaims, "What need do I have of that? I'm a butcher by blood." The woman is petrified. She asks her father, how would he purify a defiled vessel? "Throw it into the fire," comes the prompt reply. The woman immolates herself in the absence of everyone. But our heroine Moga would not do that. She would rather grow lotuses in the very marshy land she was submerged in.
Sounds like your book is a true story. If it is, let us know. Or did you speak with real people? Did you conduct further research? Now it's the time to reveal it.
There was absolutely no need of doing all that, Monica. No meeting people, no research, because everything was ingrained here. That had to just come down on the paper and on my system. That's what I did.
Okay, Sandhya. I would like our readers also to get a little sneak peek into your book. If you can read a little excerpt from any passage in your book.
Here I go. When Moga had apprehensions about their married life, on the matters of her high qualifications, her religion, her food, her Indian dress, Gregory would say, "No, yeah," melodiously with a very silent R sound. Hours would they spend together in sweet and soft conversation. What happened post marriage then? She did try to make him sit one day and explain to him that he had every right to doubt her actions, her thoughts, her words. But then he had to make her sit by him, hold her hands, look into her eyes, and softly raise his doubts. She was prepared to tell him everything that was the truth. Further, she would ask him, should we decide to live together happily or not? If yes, he had to be soft, calm, and understanding, and not enter the house and keep screaming and abusing and yelling at the top of his voice. If Moga ventured to answer him back, he would shut her mouth by giving one blow on her face, which benumbed her. So, the best thing for Moga was to allow him to rattle and prattle to his heart's content, and that angered him all the more. His only wish was that she should come down to her knees by rubbing her nose perhaps in the ground for the crimes she had never ever committed. But this never happened, even when he expelled her from his house. Not once, but twice.
Okay, Sandhya. One last question. What was the essence of the successful marriage of Moga and Gregory?
Monica, it was a faith in the institution of marriage that sailed her through all the troubled waters in her life. She was a big catch who would not let go of her hold on the fisherman. She was a big catch indeed.
So, friends, it's been a very interesting information so far, and I'm sure you would like to read Sandhya Bhandare's book and know more about Moga's marriage and how she dealt with it. If you like to read this book, you can order it from the publisher's website, olympiapublishers.com, and let us know what you think about it in the comments. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Sandhya, for this most wonderful interview. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. And once again, thank you for watching, all my dear viewers. Thank you.